Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Rob Chavez. I am the CEO of the CAZA Group of Keller Williams Realty, and it is my honor to have you join this webinar today. I appreciate you spending some time to learn a little bit about how you can sell your home for more money in less time and understand how we've created a raving fan experience that we've refined over the last decade. And really, this was born out of necessity. 20 years ago, my wife and I started buying real estate part time. We'd fix up a little townhouse. We'd put some paint and carpet in, and change cabinets and hardware, and we would rent those properties out, and then we would sell those properties. And during that process, we fell in love with real estate. We came in contact with many real estate agents during that process, and we're always less than pleased with the results. And so we decided to take matters into our own hands and start really understanding the system and the process to create a raving fan experience, to create raving fan results. And we put our money where our mouth was. We at one point, I think my wife and I we're buying 20 to 25 homes a year, fixing them up, selling them on the open market. And during that process, we learned a ton about how to really do this at scale, and more importantly, how to create a system and a process to ensure that we were always getting the highest ROI on our money, and creating an amazing experience for all parties involved. And so 13 years ago, my wife and I, we decided that we were going to start building a real estate team. And we were going to share a lot of these strategies and tools and systems with our clients, our friends, family members. And over the years, it's evolved. It's become more and more refined. And I am proud to share with you how we sell a ton of homes every single year while providing an amazing consumer experience and amazing results for our clients. And so I appreciate you sharing some time, right? Because my intention is for you to learn so that no matter who you decide to choose, you at least understand what you should expect at a minimum from the best out there. And so let me just jump to this thing real fast, and let's start here. And first and foremost, I just want to say our intention is to always provide a raving fan experience, both through service and results. We believe that both of those are important. And as we have ventured down this path, and let me just get to proper screen share. As we ventured down this path, and we've started really refining and fine-tuning it, and hiring people around this experience, we realized, wow, we could do this. We could do it at scale and create an amazing experience for everybody. And so here are some of the results that we've gotten over the last couple of years. In the last 24 months, I believe, we've sold 481 homes. We sold them on average within 15 days. And we've sold them at 99.92% of our original list price. What does that mean? Well, on average, what that means is that we're selling our properties for $18,000 more than our competition. And this doesn't happen by accident. This happens when you create a system and a process that's repeatable, one that you ensure happens every single time, so that you can get predictable results. And our results kind of speak for themselves. I'm going to encourage you to go online, and I'm sure you've already done this. You've probably gone online and looked at our reviews. I would encourage you to definitely go and check out and read the reviews, because what you're going to find is that these are deeply passionate people that we've helped move forward with their home selling process. And homes selling a home is incredibly stressful, right? It's typically the end of something and maybe the beginning of something new, and it's a stressful time for sellers. And we've created a process that really helps minimize that stress and maximize the amount of money that a seller puts in their pocket. And our goal is to always is to really listen to our client and make sure that we're getting them exactly what they want. Some people don't need the most money. They might just need to have a fast sale. And by the way, the interesting thing is those two are typically correlated, right? A fast sale and the most money when it's priced well, those are correlated. I can go into that, in another slide. Um, but the point is, I just encourage you to go check out our reviews. Go to Zillow, go to Google, and take some time to read them. And what you're going to find is just a passionate tribe of people that we love working with. We love help them move forward. And so our system for making this happen is called the Smart Seller System. And the Smart Seller System is one that we put every single property through. It means that every home is staged, and that doesn't necessarily mean furniture type of staging, although it could mean that, right? But many times it means that the property is properly prepared for the marketplace. And it could deal with decluttering, painting, landscaping, fixing what's broken. We'll go through the property, and based on our sellers' goals and based on their time frames, we'll make sure that we stage that property, right? Prepare that property to sell based on their needs, and we'll give recommendations to our sellers on things that they can do that don't cost a lot of money but get an unbelievable return in that process. And so the next piece of that is that every home is massively marketed, right? We are proactively marketing our properties out there. There's all these new coming soon rules, right, in that process. And we've learned to work with those coming soon rules that are out there. But we market them to the largest audience. We've created a database of over 8,000 local real estate agents that we've worked with in one capacity or another. We've developed some unbelievable digital assets. I want to say 6 or 7 years ago, I created a coming soon in the DMV digital asset that on Facebook that only allows realtors to join. And so we're actively and proactively marketing our properties to those realtors before they hit the market. And then we have a database of 60,000 people that we've kind of come in contact with over the last decade that we are continuously marketing all of our listings to on a 2-week basis, really. I'll go into detail on how we actually massively market in some later slides. But just know that every property goes through this machine. I call it our marketing machine. And we have virtual assistants that help us fulfill this marketing machine. And it helps us create the most eyeballs possible, which is important. Then every property is also appraised and evaluated, meaning we go through an extensive analysis of all the comps that have sold in the last 180 to 365 days, all of the under contracts, all of the actives. We compare kitchens and bathrooms and square footage and lot views and lot locations to really get an understanding of what the price needs to be. We also do pre-inspections on every single one of our listings. Think of this as insurance, right? This is to minimize any potential problems on the back end that could occur during the listing period or during the home inspection period. And boy, did we learn this early on in our career, that it's so much easier to take care of problems on the front end and discover what those are before you even go on the open market. And it just increases the amount of money that you end up putting in your pocket at the end of the day, because you're minimizing potential leverage for the buyer if they were to find some of these things during the home inspection. And we pay for this pre-inspection up front. And then every single one of our listings has a total satisfaction guarantee, which essentially means if at any point you don't feel like we are earning your business, that we aren't doing our job, you can fire us at any point, no questions asked. We'll release you from the listing agreement without any penalty. Unlike many other agents or teams out there, they sometimes will charge you they'll lock you into long-term listing agreements or they will charge you early cancellation fees, which we never do, right? We believe that we have to earn your business every single day. And so it all starts with what we call developing that smart pricing strategy. Every property has a pricing strategy that is really contingent on 3 factors, right? It's always price in relation to its condition. It's always price in relation to its location, like where it might sit on the street or where it might sit in the neighborhood or what it backs up to. And every price is, it's always priced in relation to the time of the year, right? Properties that are listed in February or January and February, they sell for a different value than properties in April and May and June. And so we have to look at all those factors and we have to take them into account. And we have to develop a smart pricing strategy around those things. And then we let consumer behavior help drive the price, right? And there's psychology around pricing a property correctly. It's always about being at or slightly below the market value or what the perceived market value is, because what that does is that it creates massive leverage for you, the seller, and drives a ton of buyers with the right marketing to come and look at your home. When you have lots of buyers looking at your home, everybody feels that the value is right on where it needs to be. What that does is that it creates a frenzy among buyers. And when you create a frenzy among buyers, you can get multiple offers. When you get multiple offers, you get the best price and the best terms, right? And it's a very critical strategy that you need to make sure that any agent you select really has a smart pricing strategy in place to use consumer advantage to their advantage. Now, it makes no sense at all to list a house out there that isn't properly marketed or doesn't look amazing online. And so you need to make sure that anybody that you select is doing high-end digital photography, high-end digital editing, that they're doing virtual tours. In fact, I'll show you a quick, see if I can do this real fast. Show you a quick little tour, virtual tour here let's see. Bear with me. See if we can do this properly. Share screen. Chrome. Windy Ridge. And this is just an example. It's about telling the story of your home, telling the story of the property, both of the neighborhood and of the inside of the home. It's critical that somebody understands the emotion and the feeling that is solicited from that neighborhood and that property. I won't play all of this, but it kind of gives you an idea. We go through and we do internal videos of all the properties. This house, by the way, was an estate sale that required a lot of renovation, and we were able to guide the seller through what we call our smart renovation program to help them maximize the sale of that property. And it was really rewarding to help them do that. It was their father's property, and we brought it back to its original glory. So let me get back here real fast. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and then I'm going to share the screen again and get back to where we were. But I just wanted to give you a quick little idea. And you can go on our YouTube channel and you can get a sense for the different videos that we put out there. But whenever we're doing videos or doing pictures, the goal is to capture the story of the home, the story of the neighborhood. It's really, really important, especially with everything that's going on right now in the market. It's more important than ever that video and pictures are done at the highest level. And and so here's an example of a property actually that this particular property had been listed by two other agents. I think they'd been trying for well over a year to sell this property. And all it required was a different type of marketing strategy to help them get it sold. I think we might have sold this property in 45 days once we got a hold of it. We took aerial drone pictures. We made sure that we enhanced, like all these are enhancements, by the way. We use editing software to make that grass look a little bit greener. We use the aerial drone tour pictures to capture just the size of this property. The pictures that they had done before didn't do it justice. And by the way, I really believe that this picture is what drew in a lot of people. And then we took these pictures and the video, and we make sure that we are literally putting it out there to our social channels, which are huge, by the way. I'm really big into building a large social media audience and presence, because I know that that's valuable for our clients. The larger not only my personal social media channel is, but every single individual agent on our team social media channel is, and our team social media channel is, we can use the power of those networks to really get hundreds of thousands of people viewing our properties because of the power of the network. Networks, you think about this, every person that you know that you're connected with on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on Instagram, they all know a minimum of 150 to 200 people, and some of them substantially more than that. So you can imagine when you take the right pictures and you take the right video and you use the right social media strategy, you literally can just create massive exposure above and beyond the MLS syndication that's out there, which everybody already does. All the main channels like Zillow and Realtor.com and Trulia all syndicate our listings automatically. That's just a given these days. It's no big deal. But to really amplify that, you need to have a social media strategy. And when you have beautiful pictures combined with a solid social media strategy, you can create massive exposure. The other thing, I'll go back real fast. The other thing about that many people don't know is that you can create highly targeted ads on Facebook and on Instagram that drive buyers from and create exposure that the MLS just can't. So for instance, I could draw a radius around a certain area where maybe consumers or buyers, this property was in Great Falls. So let's just say there might be buyers in the Reston or some other let's say Reston or even the Arlington area that want a little bit more land and they want to buy in Great Falls, I can target consumers in those markets and show up in their Facebook feed for not a whole lot of money. It doesn't cost a lot to do it. You just need to know how to do it, and the majority of real estate agents out there just don't know how to do targeted ads. So something I take a lot of pride in because I know that that's where the business has gone. That's where it's going, right? So here, you need a combination of what I call using the portals like the search engines, the brokerage websites, classifieds ads like Craigslist, believe it or not, still popular that among buyers. Social media like Twitter is also popular. So in order to get this out to all the different channels that are out there, you need a marketing team. There's no way that I personally could do this, or any individual agent could do this, or even a small marketing team could do this. We literally have a team of 4 marketers whose only job is to make sure that all of our listings are presented on all of our social media channels every single day, right? Oops. So let me go back here. We already talked a little bit about that. The listing portals, these are kind of a given. All listings syndicate out here, but this is what a lot of people don't know about listing portals, that there is a little bit of a pay to play, unfortunately, with Zillow, which is the 800-pound gorilla. And of course, we pay to play because it's in our client's best interest to do it. But in order to ensure that all the inquiries that come in off of our listings, the ones that we're helping our sellers sell, we have to pay. We have to be part of what's called being a premier agent. But more importantly, there's a separate fee that has to be paid that is now grandfathered. Agents that even were in Zillow 2 or 3 years ago are not grandfathered in. We are because we've been in for well over a decade. But to get grandfathered in for this particular part of Zillow means that whenever somebody inquires about the property off our listing, it comes directly to us. Believe it or not, the sellers don't understand this piece, that when they list their property, let's just say through another agent, a Redfin agent or some other agent that's out there, the inquiries don't go to the listing agent. The inquiries go to whoever's paying the most money to get the inquiry. And so what happens is another agent answers that call and knows zero about your listing at that point. They don't know anything about the listing. They can't even sell it. And their intention is just to capture the buyer, not to sell the listing. They could care less that it came off of a particular listing. All they care about is capturing that buyer lead, that buyer opportunity. On the other hand, our job is to sell the listing. That's all we care about. So when we get an inquiry, the entire focus is to get that person sold on our property, on our listing. So that's something that a lot of sellers are not aware of. And believe it or not, I come across a lot of agents that don't even understand how that works. Blows my mind, but it does. Search engines. Obviously, Google is the one that everybody uses. We make sure that we are driving traffic to all of our listings through proper SEO strategies, which we're implementing and doing every single day, along with pay-per-click strategies, which means that when somebody is searching for, let's say, a property in Reston, our listings are going to show up because, or our Reston listings are going to show up because we are actually driving consumer traffic to that particular listing. So we talked about social media strategy already. I think the biggest thing that I want to talk about here is that we literally have 151 different check boxes, 151 steps, right, that our marketing team has to go through on every single one of our listings. And many times these are repeated week over week to ensure that we're showing up first on all of the different social media platforms that are out there. So very important, very, very important to have that. Another thing that I want to chat about real fast is that uh, we make sure that every single, literally, we turn over every single stone that's out there, from whether it's ensuring that we have the right yard signs, which there's a strategy around all the yard signs, to effectively doing amazing seventh level open houses, to marketing it to our huge network that we have, to the print media that we do. Uh, really, the print media that we do is somewhat limited these days because we find that consumers are not doing a ton of print. Although we are on a biweekly basis, still sending out what is it, 12,000 pieces every single 2 weeks, where we are advertising listings. So that's 24,000 touches a month. And that's what I would call small scale, right? We know that buyers are not coming from that, but we still ensure that we do that. Really, buyers are coming today from all the different online platforms. And so we spend the majority of our resources on those online platforms. I talked a little bit about our seventh level open house today. With what's going on, open houses are being done virtually, and we've pivoted very quickly to be able to do online webinars like this to advertise and market our open houses. In fact, I now see a strategy in the future where we're going to have a combination of live open house tours being conducted, along with physically being there at the property, and then going live on Instagram and Facebook and some other social channels to really increase the reach, because it's all about reach, right? You want to get the maximum reach possible. Also, part of the strategy, I talked a little bit about this, is when you decide that you're going to hire any agent, you want to make sure that they're using really high-end photographers and editors. This grass that's here, that grass, this picture was taken in the dead of winter, and that grass was brown. And so we made sure that we used our service to go in and touch it up and make that sky a little bluer and that grass a little greener. Very important, because the consumer today is essentially doing virtual drive-bys, meaning they're going to make their decisions based on what those pictures look like, and we want to make sure that they choose us. That said, there are a number of consumers out there that look at floor plans. So we ensure that as part of our marketing strategy, we have floor plans with every one of our listings, because some people just want to see the pictures. Some people want to see just the video and the aerial drone tours. Other people want to know the size of those rooms, right? You've got your analytical people that are out there saying, okay, will my couch fit here? Will my bed fit here? And so we ensure that we go out and we measure every single one of our homes, and then we get 2D plans, and upon request, 3D plans for all of our listings, right? I talked a little bit about our buyer database. This is something that I'm passionate about. We started selling your home over 10 years ago, right? When you think about it, meaning that we have a database of over 60,000 people and this is all the people we've ever met, and it's growing every single week. And there's within there, at any point in time, somewhere between 5,000 to 10,000 active buyers. And so when I say that we started selling your house 10 years ago, it's because we started building this database 10 years ago. And it is a very powerful tool to essentially get the word out to the marketplace about your listing. So part of creating a raving fan experience is not only having a great marketing strategy on the front end, but it's making sure that during that entire process, proper communication is being conducted. I find that the breakdown in communication is the number one reason why many homes fail to sell the first time. Every market's a little bit different, but in general, in the DMV market, somewhere around 40% of homes that get listed do not sell the first time they get listed by that agent. Can you believe that? That means, that 4 out of 10 homes fail to sell with the initial agent that they hire. Why? Typically because expectations weren't set properly. They didn't implement any kind of proper marketing strategy. But most importantly, they did not set or have clear communication throughout the process. And so there was a failure typically of communication. We ensure that we're constantly communicating with our sellers about what the marketplace is telling us between buyer feedback, agent feedback, marketing feedback, and market updates. And we provide, by the way, these market updates on every Friday. Like, you'll get a market update with all of that buyer feedback, agent feedback, all the marketing activity, like how many people looked at it on YouTube and Facebook. And now the MLS has the ability to be able to see and show our clients how many people have viewed the property through our portals and through their other agents' portals. And then we just bring that information back to you, the sellers, so that you can make the most educated, so that we can make the most educated decision possible on how to move forward. So that is highly important to have unbelievable communication throughout the entire process. You should be hearing from your agent 2-3 times a week during that entire process. And in our mind, what we've done is we've said, hey, if we are not earning our clients' trust every single day, if we're not giving them raving fan service every single day, then we essentially, they should have the ability to fire us at any point. And that's why we never bind anybody into a long-term listing agreement. And we call that our 100% satisfaction guarantee agreement. So I can go into more detail on that if anybody has questions, but it is pretty unique to us. And so the other piece that's important that creates a raving fan experience is to make sure that whoever you choose has partners that have been vetted and time tested. And through the years, we've created some unbelievable relationships with people that have helped us get our properties prepared and marketed properly, everything from stagers to contractors to appraisers to cleaning crews. This is all part of our network, and we've selected business owners that are reliable. They are their pricing is reasonable, and most importantly, they take personal responsibility for also providing raving fan service. And through this process, we actually developed a construction arm to our business to really help our sellers get their properties prepped and ready to put on the market. This comes from our years of experience on the investment side of the business, where we really help advise our clients on the best improvements that they should make on their home to get the highest return on their money. That was always important to me. I'm sure it's important to most sellers out there that they're not putting their money in the wrong places and that they're putting their money in the right places. And so, we partnered with my investment business partner to essentially do that for all of our listings, provide that analysis for our sellers. And we created a Renovate Now, Pay Later program for people that maybe didn't have the funds to get their property fully prepped to get ready for the market. And we knew that maybe with just $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 worth of minor improvements to polish the penny, we could get our sellers $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 on the back end. It doesn't take a lot to get a great return, but it does take the right upgrades, the right renovations. Sometimes it's just as simple as changing hardware, painting, and changing fixtures to really create the impact. Some basic landscaping and staging to create the impact to help our sellers net the most money. But each property is a little bit different, so we always like to do that analysis. But Mark Beckett, my business partner, on the investment side of the business, and now really the leader of that construction arm, has done an unbelievable job, and I'm so happy to have him part of our Raving Fan experience. Also, by the way, we ensure that every one of our listings does get a home warranty placed at the inception of that listing. Think of it as insurance, right? We actually make sure that we've partnered with a warranty company. And what we'll do is we'll place that warranty on that listing so that, if anything was to happen, if the HVAC was to go bad, or if a hot water tank was to bust during the listing period, all you would need to do is just pay kind of the copay for that, and it would be taken care of, right? So instead of having to, pay for that hot water tank because it bust, during the listing period, which has happened many times, in my career, I've seen that happen. That might be a $1,200, $1,300 fix if you had to do it from scratch, but with a simple copay, you can get that replaced if you've got that home warranty placed on the front end. And it's all about minimizing problems on the back end, and this is why we do things like this on the front end. And if the buyer wants to then purchase that, which, by the way, this also makes buyers feel really warm and fuzzy, right, during the process. So if a buyer did want to take over this home warranty, they could, and they would pay for it themselves, or we would negotiate that we could pay for it. It would just be part of the negotiation strategy. But it's great insurance for you, and it also attracts that buyer that might be a little bit nervous about moving forward because maybe some of the systems in the home are a little bit older. Well, having that warranty in place provides them a little bit of security on the front end. Okay, the other portion here that we developed over the years, mainly because of my background, is this investment network that I've spent the last 13 years really building out. We have over 13,000 active members, part of this. And what we found was that there was this whole segment of sellers that are out there that don't want people to come through their home for whatever reason, right? They don't want to do any work on their home for whatever reason. Maybe the property was inherited and they don't want to fool around with it. Maybe they just didn't have the funds to do the work and they didn't want anybody to come through the house. Our Renovate Now, Pay Later program really helps those people now. But there's still people that they just want an offer from an investor, and we're able to procure an offer within 24 hours on any one of our listings to help them move forward, right? And this really just came out of necessity. Zillow did something similar with Zillow Offers. I believe they've retracted that now under the current environment. Redfin started going down the path of doing the same thing, but they've retracted it now. But ours is still in effect. We use the power of a very large network to help drive this. And it's a great resource, and it's part of just us wanting to ensure we help our clients move forward, no matter what their situation is, right? And then one of the things that we're incredibly proud of is that we've developed what we call our CAZA Rewards program. So once you're part of the family, you have access to things like our 16-foot box truck, or you get to come to all of our events for free. We have brewery events, we have movie night events, you have access to power washers that we have in storage. Essentially, we want to become your go-to resource for anything related to the home, anything related to real estate. You get access to all of our investment classes for free. This is just part of our rewards program for being part of our tribe, and we appreciate our clients, and we appreciate the fact that they trusted us to help them move their family forward. And so this is just our way of being able to give back over time. And so so that's it. That is our Raving Fan system, a predictable sales and marketing system that has created incredible results for thousands of people over the last decade. And if you have any specific questions about this, you can certainly reach out to me through, any one of my social media channels or any of our company social media channels. We're very prompt to respond. I just had this situation the other day where I'm trying to get a hold of this technology company because my daughter has this project that's due in a couple days, and nobody from their company was calling us back or even emailing us back. They're a tech company. It was blowing my mind, and that is definitely not that is not our MO. I believe in service. And I expect great service, and because I expect great service, I expect that our team provides great service. And creating a raving fan experience is a very important thing to us. And yeah, I just wanted to say I appreciate you joining us today. I appreciate you joining me today. And if you have any questions about any of this stuff, it'd be my honor to just jump on the phone and chat with you, or via Zoom, and answer any questions you may have. So make it a wonderful day, and looking forward to connecting with you sometime soon. Take care. Bye-bye.